Hey everyone. Hopefully, everyone's slowly getting back into the swing of things with your workload and stuff. Um, so, for today's due now, as usual, you can find it on the attendance form. But I thought we could just do some review from yesterday's lesson and also just from prior knowledge. So, what are the four different types of conflict? And what are the five different types of characterization? So just respond to that in the attendance form to get classwork credit for the do now, and then also attendance so I can transfer it over to PeoplePath. So that was the do now for today. So I thought I can do an introduction example for you. So most of you already have your introductions completed. So I thought we'd focus on the body paragraphs today. But just a quick example for the introduction. So we all know starts with a hook. So the authors use many different literary elements to create a story. They choose from these elements to craft mood, plot, and excitement in their tales. And then opening statements in his short story, The Most Dangerous Game, Richard O'Connell of his protagonist, Rainsford, who finds himself trapped in a deadly game of hunting on the Caribbean island. So then the thesis, Connell uses Zeroff's idea of the hunter versus the hunted to create the element of conflict, which propels the story forward. So again, hook, opening statements, thesis. Again, not to say this is the best introduction, but it does include all three proponents of an introduction. So now for body paragraphs, I know we got over teal or to MERP, so I wanted to merge the two together just to see how it works, because I really do like teal better than to MERP, but don't tell anybody. So here's how we merge all of them together. For the body paragraphs, you still have your topic sentence. So T is for topic sentence. What is your paragraph going to be about? So whether you're focusing on the central idea or you're focusing on a specific literary element. Then the E, a lot of times we go straight into evidence, but I really want to try and get in the habit of having E stand for explanation and evidence. So you want to give some context to the evidence beforehand. So that's where the explanation comes in. So what is the context for this quote? Who, what, when, where, why, how? Again, you don't need to answer all of those questions before you give your evidence, but obviously use your discretion. What are the most important details needed to better understand the given evidence that you use? And then A, this is where stands for analysis. And then this is where the MERP of the analysis portion comes in because M stands for meaning. So you want to summarize what the quote says in your own words, right? So, and obviously, if the quote is really straightforward, then you can get around that. But for the most part, especially with fiction, what's going on in your own words. And then the I is for inference. So why this quote? Why did you choose it? And also, what does the quote imply? So this is the below the surface meaning of the text. So this is where the analysis is coming in. And then the L usually stands for the linking sentence. And then here is where the relevance and the purpose comes into MERP. So the relevance is, how does it connect to your claim, or how does it connect to your thesis statement? And then the purpose, how does it connect to the rest of your essay, argument, analysis, so forth. So all of these things should be included into each paragraph. That means you should have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 6 to 7 sentences in each paragraph, okay? So again, this was, oh, not the introduction example. This is actually the body paragraph example. So as we continue, topic sentence. As O'Connell opens his thriller, he uses dialogue that foreshadows the main conflict in the story. So again, they're focusing on dialogue and foreshadowing the main conflict. So then we have the explanation and the evidence. So again, it could be within the same sentence. So Rainsford and his friend Whitney stand on the deck of the yacht as Rainsford argues, the world is made up of two classes, the hunters and the huntees. Luckily, you and I are the hunters, page 7. So again, now we have some context of where the characters are saying this, right? And who is he saying it to? So then we have better context to this given evidence. Then we have the meaning and the inference. So this explains the main conflict of the story, as well as hinting that soon the tables will be turned on the hunter Rainsford. So again, as we develop a stronger competence in the meaning and the inference, a lot of times you can combine the two together. And then from there we have relevance. So the reader understands that at this point, Rainsford only sympathizes with the hunter. By lacking sympathy, the reader believes Rainsford to be selfish and egotistical, which also creates an internal struggle in choice. And then purpose, Connell's early identification of the main conflict sets up the clash of ideas between Rainsford and Zaroff later on in the story, right? So it's giving purpose of the overall context to the overall story instead of just that given piece of evidence. So that would be an example of your body paragraphs. So quick summary, unfortunately, we can't have interaction through the video, but what are the essential components to include in a body paragraph, right? So we're not getting rid of TMERP, we're just merging it with TEAL. So you have your topic sentence, the explanation, then your evidence, so context, then evidence. And then from there, you're going into your analysis. So you're given the meaning, what's explicitly said in the text, and then your inference, what is being implicitly stated in the text. And then from there, you have linking it all together. So what is the relevance and the purpose of again, the evidence that you gave, and then also to the larger context of the story, okay? So that is our review for the body paragraph. So now on your own for the rest of our class time, you're working on your body paragraphs to support your thesis. And then just at the end of the day, because this will be due tomorrow, I'd like you to answer your exit ticket, which will be on a Google Doc. You will each have your own copy, so you can write directly onto the Google Doc. Just make sure you turn it in at the end of the day. So what did you accomplish this period? What are your next steps? And then what additional support do you need? Because ideally I'd like to start making some rounds where I can check in with each and every one of you to see where you're at and then help you moving forward, okay? So that is today's lesson. Hope you guys all have a good day, and until tomorrow's lesson. All right, bye-bye.